into a gulf shot underground, till part rose up a fountain by the tree of life. In with the river sunk, and with it rose Satan, involved in rising mist, then sought where to lie hid. Sea he had search, and land with narrow search, and with inspection deep considered every creature, which of all most opportune might serve his wiles, and found the serpent, the subtlest beast of all the field. Him, after long debate, irresolute of thoughts revolved, his final sentence chose fit vessel, fittest imp of fraud, in whom to enter, and his dark suggestions hide from sharpest sight. Through each thicket, dank or dry, like a black mist, low, creeping, he held on his midnight search, where soonest he might find the serpent. Him fast sleeping soon he found, in labyrinth of many a round self rolled, his head the midst, well stored with subtle wiles, not yet in a horrid shade or dismal den, nor nocent yet, but on the grassy herb, fearless, unfeared he slept. In at his mouth the devil entered, the enemy of mankind, enclosed in serpent, inmate bad, and toward Eve addressed his way, not with indented wave prone on the ground as since, but on his rear, circular base of rising folds that tore fold above fold, a surging maze, his head crested aloft, and carbuncle his eyes, with burnished neck of verdant gold erect amidst his circling spires, that on the grass floated abundant. Pleasing was his shape, and lovely, never since of serpent kind, lovelier. His gentle, dumb expression turned at length the eye of Eve to mark his play. He, glad of her attention gained, with serpent tongue organic, or impulse of vocal air, his fraudulent temptation thus began.
Wonder not, sovereign mistress, that perhaps thou canst to art's soul wonder, much less on thy looks, the heaven of mildness. With disdain, displeased that I approach thee thus and gaze insatiate.
What may this mean? Language of man pronounced by tongue of brute, and human sense expressed? The first at less of these I thought denied to beasts, whom God on their creation day created mute to all articulate sound. The latter I demur, for in their looks much reason, and in their actions oft appears. Thee, serpent, subtlest beast of the field I knew, but not with human voice endued.
To whom the guileful tempter thus replied,
Empress of this fair world, resplendent Eve, easy to me it is to tell thee all. What thou commandst and right, thou shouldst be obeyed. For I was at first as other beasts that graze the trodden earth, of abject thoughts and low, as was my food, nor aught but food discerned or sex, and apprehended nothing high. Till on a day, roving the field, I chanced a goodly tree, far distant to behold, loaden with fruit of fairest colors mixed, ruddy and gold. To satisfy the sharp desire I had of tasting those fair apples, I resolved not to defer. Hunger and thirst at once, powerful persuaders, quickened at the scent of that alluring fruit, urged me so keen. About the mossy trunk I wound me soon, for high from ground the branches would require thy utmost reach, or atoms. Round the tree all other beasts that saw with like desire, longing and envying stood, but could not reach. Amid the tree now got where plenty hung, tempting so nigh, to pluck and eat my fill I spared not, for such pleasure, till that hour at feed or fountain never had I found. Sated at length, ere long I might perceive strange alteration in me, to degree of reason in my inward powers, and speech wanted not long, though to this shape retained. Thenceforth to speculations high or deep I turned my thoughts, and with capacious mind considered all things visible in heaven, or earth, or middle, all things fair and good. But all that fair and good in thy divine semblance, and in thy beauty's heavenly ray united I beheld. No fair to thine equivalent which compel me thus, though importune perhaps, to come and gaze, and worship thee, of right declared, sovereign of creatures, universal Dame.
And so talked the spirited, sly snake, and Eve, yet more amazed, unwary thus replied,
Serpent, thy overpraising leaves in doubt the virtue of that fruit, in thee first proved. But say, where grows the tree? From hence how far? For many are the trees of God that grow in paradise, and various, yet unknown to us. In such abundance lies our choice, as leaves a greater store of fruit untouched.
Empress, the way is ready, and not long. Beyond a row of myrtles on a flat, fast by a fountain, one small thicket past, of blowing myrrh and balm. If thou accept my conduct, I can bring thee thither soon.
He, leading swiftly, rolled in tangles, and made intricate seem straight, to mischief swift. So glistered the dire snake, and into fraud led Eve, our credulous mother, to the tree of prohibition, root of all our woe, which when she saw, thus to her guide, she spake.
Serpent, we might have spared our coming hither, fruitless to me, though fruit be here to excess, the credit of whose virtues rest with thee. Wondrous indeed, if cause of such effects, but of this tree we may not taste nor touch. God so commanded, and left that command sole daughter of his voice. The rest we live law to ourselves, our reason is our law.
To whom the tempter guilefully replied,
Indeed? Hath God then said that of the fruit of all these garden trees ye shall not eat, yet lords declared of all in earth or air?
Of the fruit of each tree in the garden we may eat, but of the fruit of this fair tree amidst the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat thereof, nor shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
Queen of this universe, do not believe these rigid threats of death. Ye shall not die. How should ye? By the fruit? It gives you life to knowledge. By the threatener? Look on me, me who have touched and tasted, yet both live and life more perfect have attained than fate meant me by venturing higher than my lot. Shall that be shut to man, which to the beast is open? Ye eat thereof, your eyes that seem so clear, yet are but dim, shall perfectly be then opened and cleared, and ye shall be as gods, knowing both good and evil as they know, that ye should be as gods, since I as man, internal man, is but proportion meet, I of brute human, ye of human gods. If they all things who enclose knowledge of good and evil in this tree, that whoso eats thereof forthwith attains wisdom without their leave? And wherein lies the offense, that man should thus attain to know? What can your knowledge hurt him, or this tree impart against his will, if all be his? Goddess humane, reach then, and freely taste.
Great are thy virtues, doubtless, best of fruits, though kept from man, and worthy to be admired, whose taste, too long forborne, at first a say gave elocution to the mute, and taught the tongue not made for speech to speak thy praise. Thy praise he also who forbids thy use, conceals not from us, naming thee the tree of knowledge, knowledge both of good and evil, forbids us then to taste, but his forbidding commends thee more. In plain then, what forbids he but to know? Forbids us good, forbids us to be wise? Such prohibitions bind not. But if death binds us with after bands, what profits then our inward freedom? In the day we eat of this fair fruit, our doom is we shall die. How dies the serpent? He hath eaten and lives, and knows and speaks and reasons and discerns, irrational till then. For us alone was death invented? Or to us denied this intellectual food, but for beast reserved? What fear I then? Rather what know to fear under this ignorance of good and evil, of God or death, of law or penalty? Here grows the cure of all, this fruit divine, fair to the eye, inviting to the taste, of virtue to make wise. What hinders then to reach and feed at once both body and mind?
So saying, her rash hand in evil hour, forth reaching to the fruit, she plucked, she eat. Earth felt the wound, and nature from her seat, sighing through all her works, gave signs of woe that all was lost. Back to the thicket slunk the guilty serpent, and well might, for Eve, intent now wholly on her taste, naught else regarded. Such delight till then as seemed in fruit she had never tasted, whether true or fancied so, through expectation high of knowledge, nor was Godhead from her thought. Greedily she ignored without restraint, and knew, not eating death. What happens next? Ripping sequel.
Fantastic.